Last floor of the basement in here. It's got the uprights. Look at our diamond dowels. Expansion all the way around the pipes. Those little sticks there help them with their elevation, so they have a rough idea when they're filling things up. But then they will use the laser level right there with the stick. These guys get their slabs really nice and flat. Fireplace masons were here over the weekend, got a head start on stuff. So they're actually going to pull off the job for a couple days, that way we're not in the way of the framer. Let him get some more roof framing in. This fireplace here is going to have to start stepping over to almost about here. So all these flues already have an angle there, and the two on this side are coming pretty much straight up. So see, the framer's got to get some more stuff done. But here's where this fireplace is coming up through. So we've got the two flues over here that are angled to kick their way over. That one kicks over a little bit. And then basically our width is about 2 inches from there, 2 inches from there. All forward. Some finishing to do.
163 and one at 183. It's a 12 pitch. So your bevel, I'm thinking your bevel is going to be about a 42 again. Yeah.
Prepping for more slabs. So we've got a three-sided open fireplace here. And then all this cantilevered steel here is going to hold the whole chimney above. So these rods actually go down 2 foot 2 inches into the slab. It's a full big footer, full depth footer here. We've got a couple attic dormers. This is an unfinished attic, but we do plan to drywall and finish the inside of this. So that way when you look up from the exterior, you're actually going to look into a finished space. So working on some stone. We have a wall that ties in here later, so they're creating pockets so everything will link in. The wall actually steps over 2 inches. And then my framers are still framing, but they have to loop back over here to get our casing and flashings done. So we're ready for our lead through flash. So I got it up to the height that I needed it. They're gonna run their lead all the way through here and turn it up. And then starting to check out my step flashing forms for the back side. We got our ceiling joist in here. We added these collar ties, which weren't really going to be in the original plan, but you know what, it really structures the roof pretty nice. And we still got 8'6" in here. These guys are getting these dormers framed out. Quite a few hip sections, and then cool dormers. And then all the dormers have the little flares on them, the bigger dormers. Smaller dormers have straight roof lines. Get more of these collar ties in. Edwin's a beast. So I got my plumbers started. It's a little early for the other trades because they're not watertight, but I'm meeting them to go over duct locations. So we're gonna actually have to sneak 2 ducts across. We're gonna have a unit in the attic and then we're actually gonna have to run a supply and return down through here. So let's some joist out so that way these guys can get stuff over to these rooms. You can hear all that banging, that's the roofers. So they're back, they're papering this roof. Things dried in for us. We're getting there. Getting close to getting all the upper roof done. As you see, we're missing some sheathing because we still got to do all those flare details. So they're trying to get as much on. Roofers are here starting paper. Progress. So we got our step flashing layout here. So we got our chimney at finish will be 5'6". Right now the block is 4'6". So that way we got 6 inches of stone, 6 inches in stone. So below we've all got block before. Steps out, I showed you down in there. It's kind of like stairs. You basically figure out your total rise and your total run, divide it up by an average number, usually around 7 inches is what we try and stay with our step flashing. I ended up around 7 5/16, I'm pretty sure. So lay everything out. This one's pretty easy. Start getting to some of the other fireplaces, get a little bit more complex, but this will prep these guys. You also see the dotted line here. So that way our copper pan that gets installed goes and cuts back. So that way our step flashing over is completely covered. So that way you don't have like a pinhole leak in this area. So your pan runs all the way back to here. So might not make a lot of sense right now, but later on, once we start doing this, I will show more detail. Starting to prep for slabs on the veranda. Got a thick monolithic pour. Guys are moving on stone now. Our weeps, we do them in the T-shape, so that way they can weep out the bottom. You still got that airflow. Keen rain screen, the rigid foam, panel shield WRB, and then for like areas like bath fans, AZAC block pack out. Got a quick flash underneath, so we've got a gasket around the sleeve that goes through. It's copper capped down to the face of the stone. A really good cross-section example. So we've got our foundation wall. We've got our rigid foam on there. Rigid is this chalk line here is finished grade. We ran everything up 6 more inches. We've got our through-wall flashing. Our weep is right there, so that way it's 6 inches above finished grade. We've got our finished term bar and our sealant. And we've got more rigid foam. And then our keen rain screen. And then where it transitions from foundation, and we've got our bridge flashing, and then our WRB. And like I mentioned, pack out for lights and things. We've got a quick flash underneath. These guys are getting the rest of these prepped. Inspection next week. We're getting the roofers out to cover what we have exposed now. And then some of these areas that are still open, they gotta come back later and do the radius or aftertails, but we're gonna keep our plywood nice and dry.
I'm not sure, buddy, but
Starting to get some sheathing on. So the bulk of the roof framing is kind of in. Still got all the flares to do. And we've been leaving this front area open for a way to get material up still. But space is starting to open up now.